I'm going in depth of the case 3, a sweet dilemma, sourcing a palm oil with Ferrero SPA and Nestle. Let's take a look of the case summary itself. The problem statement of the case is the non-compliance towards the RSPO by Nestle had tainted a good image of the Ferrero. So, does acquisition of Nestle is actually contribute to the growth of the Ferrero or otherwise? This happened due to the Nestle source significant amount of the oil palm from the operation to be unsustainable. Besides, the Nestle supplier, which is Wilmar, had involved in the child labor exploitations and forced labor plantation, claiming they had not achieved a sufficient level of human rights recognition. The theory that can be used in the case is the upper echelon theory. What does this mean by the upper echelon theory? It is the idea that the top executive view their situation through their own highly personalized lens. This theory assumes that the executive experience, value, personalities, and greatly influence their interpretation of the situation they face and in turn affect their choices. According to Hambrick and Mason 1984, suggests that the most complex a decision, for instance the strategic measures, the more important the personality characteristic of the decision makers, such as age, tenure, and specialization. Thus, some assume that the background characteristic of the top management team can predict the organizational characteristic and set standards, value, competence, ethics, and unique characteristic throughout the organizations. In simple words, the management teams is representing the team, the image of the company. Okay, back to the case. Farini, as the top executive of Ferrero and the head of the acquisition that purchased Nestle US as one of the company's strategy to expand the company growth. However, the acquisition of the Nestle became a disaster to the company when the teams had not too roughly acknowledged the use of the palm oil in the making of candy, and the Nestle US supplier, which is Wilmar, against the human rights. Further, makes the Nestle not complying with the RSPO specification. Due to that this become a risk to the Ferrero. Based on the case, the acquisition strategy headed by Farini is the best strategy in expanding the company growth in the US, as Farini had gone through the analysis of the company before continue with the strategy. However, due to the issue arise, need Farini to decide either to continue with the acquisition strategy or giving up the project. According to the problem that arises in the Ferrero case, so the best recommendation that I suggest is to solve the problem is by accepting the risk. Ferrero needs to review the nature of the company and company performance to roughly to find an action plan to overcome the risk that relates with the RSPO compliance. Ferrero may continue to operate the Nestle by changing the business environment that align with the Ferrero policy. They may consider to change the Nestle supplier and set business objective and motto of the company as what Ferrero had done to their business, which is the good and ethical values. Apart from that, Ferrero can specify the Nestle company as one of the initiative where moderate people can afford to buy and taste candies at affordable price, as Ferrero committed to help the community. That's all from me. I'm Nur Atiekah. See you in the next case.